Hero MotoCorp needs no introduction. It's not just India's leading two-wheeler manufacturer, but the world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer by volume. And when I say volume, consider these numbers. In the last financial year, Hero sold 56 lakh motorcycles and scooters. Yes, that's right, 5.6 million motorcycles and scooters sold in one financial year. But most of that volume comes from Hero's small displacement commuter motorcycles. And this, the new premium Mavrick 440, is Hero's flagship product and its most expensive motorcycle yet. Hello and welcome to Car and Bike. I'm Preetam and today we'll talk about the new Hero Mavrick 440. What's good about it, what's great, and what could have been better. But before we go ahead, you know the drill. Please do like the Car and Bike channel if you haven't yet. Hit that bell icon, and if you like this video, please do consider sharing with your friends. The Mavrick 440 is Hero MotoCorp's latest shot at the premium roadster segment. The 440 platform has been in the making for some time. Developed in-house by Hero's R&D team, but with inputs from Harley-Davidson engineers as well. After all, this engine and chassis combination first made its debut with the made-in-India Harley-Davidson X440, a result of a partnership between the two brands. The Mavrick though manages to look completely different from the X440. The face gets a round LED headlight with circular LED indicators, followed by a muscular 13.5-litre fuel tank with a single-piece seat that offers good surface area. Even though the Mavrick uses the same steel trellis frame as the X440, the Mavrick runs on 17-inch wheels at both ends, with diamond-cut alloys on the top variant. The Mavrick also gets a 43mm telescopic front fork instead of the upside-down forks of the Harley-Davidson X440, and its bigger 18-inch front wheel. Rear suspension is again dual shock setup with a box section swing arm, and braking is standard dual-channel ABS. There's a LED taillight as well, but the rear mudguard design feels somewhat out of proportion. So that's what the Mavrick 440 looks like. To me, it's more of a neo-retro Red Star. I wouldn't call it a naked strip or a cruiser. It's not a sport bike by any standards, but yeah, it's a neo-retro roadster is how I'd describe it. Got hints of classic design, but also very contemporary. When you swing a leg over it, it's got a upright riding position, very comfortable roadster stance. You sit upright, get a commanding view of the road ahead, and foot peg position is mid-set, so you don't really find it very aggressive or rear set. And in terms of seat height, 803mm seat height, which is quite nice for me to flat foot both sides. So no matter your height, you'll be comfortable with straddling this motorcycle. For reference, my height is 5 feet 9 inches, a little above 9 inches, but I can flat fit both sides. So it feels comfortable, you sit upright, and overall it is a comfortable bike to sit on. Now in terms of design, the front part, I'm okay with the front part, and the rear half is something which I feel Hero could have made a better job of. Overall, it's not a petite motorcycle, and it's got 187 kg curb weight. So when you try to push it around, you can feel the mass, but once you're on the move, then that mass, you don't really feel it. Overall, it's not a very heavy bike, not a very big bike. You can still move it around, push it around quite effortlessly. What could have been better, in my opinion, are these. The cables could have been tucked away neatly, and of course the speedometer console, it's quite well equipped LCD instrument console, but the screen size is somewhat small, and you get used to it. It's not a deal breaker, but it could have had a slightly bigger and more legible screen. In my opinion, that would have made it slightly better. So that's the Hero Mavrick 440. Again, you let us know in your comments what do you think about the design. The torquey nature of the engine is similar to the X440, and it's got decent pulling power from as low as 2000 RPM. The 6-speed gearbox is precise and the slip and assist clutch is a boon while riding in the city. Out on the open road, the Mavrick 440 is a relaxed, chilled out companion and will easily munch miles stress-free at 100 km an hour all day long. Most of all, the Mavrick shines as an everyday commuter with its torquey engine, slick gear shifts and comfortable ride. The engine, as you know, is shared with the Harley-Davidson X440, the same 440cc air and oil-cooled single-cylinder long-stroke engine. Now, this engine is made for relaxed cruising, more to play with the torque rather than outright top-end performance. So if you're looking for top-end performance, perhaps this may not be the bike for you. Overall, it's a unique engine, and although it's a long-stroke format, it doesn't try to sound or feel like any of the Royal Enfield 350cc engines, so it's original in that sense. But on the spec sheet, this one has got a different ECU map than the X440, the same engine that it shares with, so it makes slightly less power. And of course, it also is lighter overall than the X440. Okay, so the engine, quite refined and very tractable. It's all about torque, this engine, and it pulls cleanly from as low as 2000 RPM and it will go up to 6000 RPM, that's where the red line starts, but it's happiest at speeds of 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. And for reference, at 4000 RPM you can easily cruise at 100-110 kilometers per hour all day long without any stress or without the engine feeling strain. I managed to hit a top speed, a speedo indicated top speed of 138 kilometers per hour, but it's not very happy at those speeds. Beyond 4000 RPM you'll feel some buzz, you'll feel some vibes. Sure, I mean, if you're cruising at 100, you want a quick overtake, you can go up to 120, 125 and come back, but that's the sweet spot. So if your commute is long and you want to go on a long ride, 90-100, this bike feels very relaxed, very easygoing. So on that front, I think that's what the engine is made for. If you're looking for outright acceleration, this may not be the bike for you. But if you want a relaxed, easygoing motorcycle, then this engine will not disappoint you. With its suspension setup, the Mavrick 440 sails over broken patches when you do encounter them, and it gave no reason for any complaints on ride quality. And when it comes to brakes, the dual-channel ABS offers confident stopping power. Prices for the Hero Mavrick 440 begin at Rs 1,99,000 ex-showroom for the base variant with wire-spoke wheels and tube-type tires, and go up to 2,24,000 rupees ex-showroom for the top spec variant. But the top spec variant is priced closer to the Triumph Speed 400 and even the Harley-Davidson X440. More importantly though, the Mavrick 440 will also need to compete directly with the 350cc models from Royal Enfield, particularly the classic 350, which will be a task to beat. And if you look purely at value, then you can't ignore the new Bajaj Pulsar NS400Z, which is not just more performance oriented with a high revving engine, but comes at a significantly more attractive price point as well.
The Mavrick 440 certainly is an impressive motorcycle. If you ask me how's the bike, there's one thing I can say with full confidence: it's a good bike. But what it lacks is the desirability factor, that wow factor. It's more of a jack of all than being best at one thing. And that to me makes all the difference between a good bike and a great bike. But in the eventual analysis, I won't be surprised if the Mavrick 440 slowly and steadily creates a strong fan following. And that, I think, time will tell. But if you're considering a motorcycle in this segment, you definitely should take a test ride.